All right, if you're relocating to the Sacramento area, there's one city that comes up every single time, and I mean every single time.
And what's funny is people always ask us, where do you guys actually live? And when we say Roseville,
the very next question is always, okay, but why Roseville?
So today, instead of just telling you, we're actually gonna show you.
We're going on a full vlog tour, what it feels like day to day, why we love this city, how this city is laid out, what the neighborhoods actually look like, and the lifestyle that you actually get. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know whether or not Roseville is the place or if you should be looking elsewhere. All right, let's start with why Roseville is almost always the first city people land on when they're relocating to this area. And it really comes down to one thing, and that's location. Roseville sits right along Interstate 80, about 20 to 25 minutes from downtown Sacramento. So whether you're commuting, you're heading into the city, or you just want to be close to everything, this is one of the most logistically easy places to actually live in the region. Now zoom out a little bit, you're about an hour to an hour and a half away from Lake Tahoe, an hour and a half to 2 hours from San Francisco, 30 minutes from Folsom Lake, and you're sitting right at the base of the foothills. So for a lot of our clients, they're getting the suburbs, but they don't feel like they're cut off from everything. And here's what we see happen all the time. People start their search focused on Sacramento. They're looking at Midtown, East Sac, Land Park, and they start running into the numbers. They look at 700 or 800,000 actually gets them inside of the city versus what that same budget gets them out here in Roseville. And the gap is significant. More space, newer homes, better schools, less traffic noise. That's the moment when Roseville goes to the top of the list. And that's why the city comes up in almost every single conversation we have with buyers. So to really illustrate this, we're gonna jump into the office, we're gonna go up on the map. But hey, if this is your first time here, we're Lance and Lauren with the Living in Sacramento team, where we help people relocate to the greater Sacramento metro every single week. And we mean that literally. We're not just a team handing you off to some assistant. Calls, texts, and emails, that's all us. So if you're even thinking about making the move, reach out. We'll help you figure out where you should actually be looking, what your budget gets you, and honestly, how to avoid making the wrong call, because the worst thing that people do is they pick a city before they understand how they want to live. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more in later in this video, but let's jump into the map real quick and let's talk about Roseville and how it's actually laid out. All right, now let's turn on the vibe board and let's really figure out how Roseville is broken down. All right, now this is the part that most people don't realize until they're already here doing home tours. Roseville isn't just one thing, it's actually a few completely different experiences depending on where you land. So breaking this down on the map here, first off, we're gonna hop over to the east side of Roseville. Now the east side of Roseville is going to be everything that's going to be kind of south of Interstate 80. Now, the east side, this is where people picture what they think of kind of classic Roseville. You got mature trees, you got established neighborhoods, homes built in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So we're gonna be talking about neighborhoods like Johnson Ranch. We've got Stone Ridge that's gonna be up towards the top of the hill, and you're gonna have the Maidu neighborhood that's gonna be right around the Maidu Regional Park. Now this town feels a lot more connected. You're gonna be close to freeway access, close to shopping, close to restaurants. A lot of these neighborhoods don't have Melrose, which is, if you're not familiar, it's that dirty little extra tax that gets added on top of your mortgage in a lot of newer California communities. So not having this can save you hundreds of dollars a month, and that's a big deal. So the cool thing that I love about East Roseville is you have great freeway access. You're the first one coming up from downtown Sacramento is going to be kind of that Kirby Riverside area. Then you're going to have the Douglas exit and you're going to have the Eureka exit. So depending on what part of town you're living in, you can either go east up towards North Lake Tahoe. You can make it over to West Roseville, Central Roseville pretty easy. Or if you've got to commute down into Sacramento for work, you can hop on Interstate 80 and you're super quick into downtown Sacramento. The other nice thing is straight down Douglas is going to take you into Granite Bay and you're at Folsom Lake. So the cool thing that I love about East Roseville, even when we zoom out even further on a map, is it's actually going to be a pretty central location of the greater Sacramento region. So you can go 25 minutes in any direction. You can be at Folsom Lake, you can be in Roseville, Rockland, Auburn. On the 80 freeway, you can be down in downtown Sacramento. You're about 30 minutes away from Sacramento International Airport. Or if you want to go enjoy some of the things that Folsom has to offer, but you don't feel like paying that price tag, you can be at Lake Natoma, Folsom Lake, or any of the restaurants in Folsom or El Dorado Hills. So that's kind of the nice thing about East Roseville, is it's very central and it's very, you've got generous lots over here, so you have a little bit older homes, but you're gonna have decent sized lots in the eastern section of Roseville. If you move a little bit more to the central part of the city, this is where you're gonna find neighborhoods like Highland Reserve. You're gonna have Stanford on the north side of Highway 65, and you're gonna have a big master plan community called Diamond Oaks, which is gonna be around the Diamond Oaks Golf Course. You're actually also gonna have a lot of like older homes that were built kind of around the train tracks in the early like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, but these are still gonna have established, mature neighborhood feels. So you're gonna start getting a little bit more of everything, more shopping nearby, more access to freeways, a little bit more variety in the homes that you're seeing. And it's kind of that sweet spot if you still want character, but you don't want to be on the outer edges of Roseville. Now, the other cool thing about this particular part, some of these neighborhoods, you can actually walk to the mall, you can walk to the fountain. So we lived in Diamond Oaks for a little bit right here. We could walk over to the fountains, we could get coffee, we could go to Pete's, we can go shopping, we can go to Whole Foods. It was really fun. And then over here on the other side of Roseville Parkway, you're also gonna have the Galleria Mall, which is gonna be a premier shopping destination. You've got more shopping and restaurants on the opposite sides of both of those. So that corner of Galleria and East Roseville Parkway is going to be primarily where you're gonna have a lot of restaurant options, a Fleming's, a Fogo de Chao. You've got Eureka, Lazy Dog. You've got a ton of different restaurants, both chain and locally owned, but really good central section. Now, as we work our way west and you start getting over to West Roseville, this is gonna be a part of the city that's gonna start feeling like its own city here pretty soon. And it's a completely different world out there. This is where all the new growth is happening, but you also have a couple of mature and established communities in the older part of West Roseville. So older part of West Roseville is really gonna be kind of like this section of Washington over to about Fittyment, Baseline, kind of to the northern part of Roseville. So you're gonna have neighborhoods like Wood Creek Oaks, you're gonna have Quail Glen, you're also gonna have Crocker Ranch up here. All three are really good, solid neighborhoods. You're also gonna have the Wood Creek Oaks Golf Course right here. And the other thing that I really love about West Roseville is if you're a 55 and upper, or if you're a person who's looking to retire, this is also where you're gonna start seeing some of our 55 and up communities like Sun City Del Webb. We also have the club at West Park down here. We have a Lennar heritage community, and there's also another 55 and up that's gonna be down here on the south side that's gonna be on the unincorporated side of Placer County, or the unincorporated side of Roseville. Now, as we continue to move out further west, this is where all of our brand new construction is happening. For the most part, it's all gonna be on the west side of Fittyment. So everything to the west is going to be master plan communities like West Park, Solaire, Fittyment Farm, Amaruso Ranch, Winding Creek. Starting off at the north, you're gonna have Amaruso Ranch out here. You're gonna have Winding Creek. We're gonna have West Park. We're gonna have kind of Solaire that's gonna be kind of down in this section. You're gonna have Sierra Vista that's gonna be even below that. So you have a ton of awesome new communities. You do have one honorable mention that's actually gonna be on the east side, and it's gonna be Placer 1, which is gonna be kind of this new section that's gonna be eventually part of Roseville here. But Placer 1 is also a new, awesome up and coming community. You're gonna have a Sac State and a Sierra College satellite campus. So this is honestly where a majority of our clients end up, because you're getting new construction, you're getting open floor plans, energy efficient and bigger homes, a little bit more square footage for your dollar, but you are going to be a little bit further out. The restaurants are going to be a little bit lacking or newer. The trees are going to be smaller. The infrastructure is still going to be catching up. Everything is fresh, but less established. So a couple of honorable mentions out here as well too. As we zoom in, you are gonna have a little kind of shopping center that's gonna be kind of in the central part of West Roseville. You're gonna have Kitchen 747, Mojo's Coffee. You're gonna have a really awesome Mexican restaurant called, I believe it's Masa Masa. A little bit further south right here on Baseline is going to be a brand new Costco. That's gonna be awesome. You're gonna have a Raising Cane's. You're gonna have a Target, a Home Depot in there. The first Costco car wash. I've never seen one of those before, so that's kind of cool. On this corner of Pleasant Grove and Fittyment, you got a brand new Safeway. And then a little bit further north than that, you're gonna have a kind of a Rayleigh's One Market that's gonna be right here. And there's gonna be different shopping centers, donut stores, and like kind of more retail stuff that's gonna be in those two shopping centers. So some people love it, some people tour it and realize it's absolutely not for them. And this is exactly why we always tell people to start doing a physical recon trip before you even put in an offer. Heck, before you even start looking at homes, doing this stuff, figuring out which area is gonna be a little bit more your speed and your vibe. That's gonna be the big thing. But real quick, we wanna ask you something. Would you rather have an older established neighborhood that's close to everything, or be in a brand new home that's on the newer part of town? So go ahead and drop that in the comments below, because that one answer usually tells us a lot about where somebody's gonna end up. It's not just a preference, but it is a lifestyle.
All right, let's talk numbers, because this is where the conversation gets real. Roseville has gone up in price significantly over the last several years. It's not the hidden gem it was 5 or 6 years ago. People know about it now. But here's where things actually stand right now. At the entry level, you're looking at the high 400s to around 600,000. At that price point, you're typically getting a resale home. Older build, smaller square footage, but in an established area. Then you've got mid-range, call it 650,000 to about 900,000. This is where you start seeing a lot more options, move-up homes, newer builds, more square footage, maybe even a 3-car garage. And then you've got newer and larger homes around 800,000 to 1.2 million. A lot of our clients in this range are coming from the Bay Area, and they're genuinely shocked by what they can get here for the same money or a lot less than what they had back home. And then you've got luxury pockets, 1.2 million and up. We're talking custom builds, larger lots, homes with views like Double S Ranch or the estates at Morgan Creek. Now, here's what I actually like about the Roseville market. You have real options at multiple price points. This isn't just a one-size-fits-all market. Whether you're a first-time buyer, someone moving up, or someone downsizing from a bigger place, there's something here for everyone. And compared to where most of our clients are coming from, the value difference is still really hard to argue with. Okay, this is honestly my favorite part to talk about, because lifestyle is where Roseville really separates itself from every other suburb in the area. We're talking day-to-day life here is just easy, and I don't say that lightly. You've got the Westfield Galleria, one of the best malls in all of Northern California. We're talking Apple Store, Nordstrom's, Macy's, boutique stores, and great restaurants. It's definitely a full experience. Then right across the street is the Fountains at Roseville, and this is where we actually spend a lot of our time. You've got restaurants with amazing patios, bars, wine bars, shopping. It's where you go for a weeknight dinner or a weekend date night. And then beyond those two, you've got grocery stores on what feels like every corner, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Costco, Nugget Markets, Sprouts. We have everything. There's coffee shops everywhere, local restaurants across every part of the city. And this is the thing I always tell people. You are never really going far for anything. And I know that sounds simple, but when you've lived somewhere where you're driving 30 or 40 minutes just to run errands or get to your favorite restaurant, you're definitely gonna appreciate it. It sounds like a small thing, but trust us, it's not.
All right, now if you're moving here with a family, Roseville checks a lot of boxes. The city has over 80 parks, and I don't mean little grass patches with a single swing set, I mean full-blown parks. Trails, sports fields, picnic areas, dog parks. Right now I'm at Mighty Regional Park, which is one of my absolute favorites. You've got big open fields behind me. You've got skate parks, you've got basketball courts, you've got a kind of like an indoor turf area, big open fields, walking paths. It feels like a lot more than just a suburb. You've got trails running all throughout the city, and they connect into a broader regional trail system that takes you all the way to Folsom and beyond. Now, the cool thing is it's one of those places where you still see kids on bikes. Families are gonna be at the park on Saturday morning for soccer practice. People are actually gonna be outside, which matters more than a lot of people realize when they're choosing where they wanna raise a family. Now let's talk about schools, because for a lot of our clients, this is the #1 factor. You've got Roseville City School District handling elementary and middle schools. You've got Roseville Joint Union handling the high school district. Schools like West Park and Wood Creek High School consistently come up in conversations with parents. Strong academics, strong athletics, and solid extracurricular activities. But you still got Oakmont High School and Roseville High School, which are awesome. And then Granite Bay is also going to be a part of Roseville Joint Union. But here's the thing. The families we worked with who've moved here from other parts of California, they come back to us and they let us know that the schools were one of the best parts of the moves of why they moved to Roseville.
All right, let's keep it real, because no city is perfect. And if we only showed you the highlights, you'd feel misled the first time you got stuck on Interstate 80. Now, the pros. Roseville is clean and really well maintained. The city clearly invests in keeping it that way. The school districts are strong. We've already talked about that, but it's worth saying again because it's consistent. Shopping and daily convenience is genuinely hard to beat. You have new construction options at multiple price points, which is something a lot of cities in this region just don't have right now. And it has a safe, family-oriented feel that you can actually feel when you're driving around. That's not something you can fake. Now the cons. Traffic on I-80 during peak hours, it's real. If you're commuting towards Sacramento in the morning, plan for it. Summers are hot, like genuinely hot. We're talking 100+ degrees for weeks at a time. If you're coming from a coastal city and you've never done a Sacramento summer, that's definitely an adjustment. Nightlife, Roseville is not that city. There are great restaurants, but if you want a vibrant bar scene, live music venues, late night energy, you're definitely gonna have to go into Sacramento for that. Now, some communities, especially in West Roseville, come with Melloroos and HOA fees that can add $300 to $600 a month to your total housing cost. Now, you need to factor that in from the beginning, not after you fall in love with the floor plan. And if you need to feel walkable, if you want to be able to leave your car at home and walk to coffee, walk to dinner, walk to a park, Roseville's suburban layout might frustrate you. You're definitely gonna need a car here. And this is actually where we see people make the biggest mistake. They pick the city before they ever figure out how they wanna live.
We've had clients come in dead set on Roseville, done their research, watch all of the YouTube videos, convinced it was the answer. And then we sit down, ask a few key questions, and they actually end up in Folsom or Elk Grove, or heck, even inside of Sacramento proper.
Not because Roseville is wrong, but because once we really understood what they were looking for, something else actually fit them better.
Now that's the conversation that we want to have with you before you start touring homes, not after. So let's go ahead and bring this home. Who is Roseville actually perfect for? Families who are prioritizing schools. This is consistently one of the top school areas in the entire Sacramento region. Now, buyers who want newer homes, whether that's new construction or homes built within the last 10 or 15 years, you have real inventory here. People relocating from higher cost areas like the Bay Area, Los Angeles, or even San Diego, who want to actually get something for their housing dollar. And honestly, anyone who values consistency and predictability in their daily life. Great infrastructure, clean streets, easy access to everything. Roseville delivers all of that and more. Now, who might not love it? If walkability is a non-negotiable, this is definitely not going to be your city. If nightlife, urban energy are a big part of your lifestyle right now, you're probably going to feel a little restless here. And if you want character, history, mixed architecture, and something that feels a little bit more unique, we're probably going to point you somewhere else first. Because here's the thing I always say about Roseville. It's not trying to be the most exciting city in Sacramento. It's trying to be functional, clean, safe, convenient, family friendly, and well ran. And for a lot of people, especially those of you who have high stress, high cost of living situations for years, that functional life, this is the dream.
And at the end of the day, Roseville is one of those cities that just works. And once people are here, we rarely hear regret.
Clean, safe, convenient, it checks a lot of boxes for a lot of people, but here's the thing, it has to be the right boxes for you.
So if you're thinking about making a move to this area, don't just pick a city and start searching. Start with the lifestyle.
That's where we help out. Reach out, call, text, email. That phone number is going to be popping up. We are the ones that answer every phone call, email, and text message. We'll help you figure out if Roseville is the answer or if somewhere else fits you better.
Either way, we're gonna help you get there.
Hey, and if this video helped you at all, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. We put out new content every single week. And if you want to know more information about what it's like living in Roseville, go ahead and check out that video right here.